There was a time when I thought Al Jazeera was like a reliable news source, right? There was a time when they did like just give you the facts without trying to warp anything. But unfortunately, it seems, and I haven't watched them in a very long time, but recently I saw a clip, which we'll go through now. And yeah, I hate to say it, it seems like they also drank the woke Kool-Aid. I can't believe I'm going to fact check Al Jazeera.
Issues of vibrators.
To make sure that we leave no unturned and stone.
Did I hear that correctly? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Newsflash. I'm your host, Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. So, Al Jazeera released a clip trying to explain a recent trend that happened on social media where apparently thousands of white South Africans are mocking their own privilege after Donald Trump offered them asylum in the US. Trump says they are victims of anti-white discrimination. Al Jazeera's whoever takes a look. Let's go through this clip together.
South Africa is known as the Rainbow Nation, but apparently one group in this diversity diagram is fighting for its very survival: white South Africans, specifically Afrikaners. President Donald Trump has offered them asylum in the US.
Freaking terrible things are happening in South Africa.
This news caught some people by surprise, including many of those white South Africans themselves.
A day in my life.
Okay, so this is going to be very cringe.
Brace yourselves, everyone.
And basically the premise, ladies and gentlemen, to these clips is that they're poking fun. Okay, let's just watch, but prepare yourself for cringe.
Life as an oppressed white South African. I wake up in my shelter and my husband brings me coffee because it's too dangerous to go alone. I then need to wash, so I have a dip in our pool which is used for bathing and drinking as we have no running water. Then I sit down to apply for a job I'm not qualified for and cry when I don't get it.
That's one of
Okay, so the ironic part here is that some of the stuff that she said in that video is true. Like there are parts of South Africa that don't have running water, and it is unsafe to go outside. But again, the people who are making these clips are, I hate using this word, but they are privileged. They are social justice woke warriors who think that they're getting in a dig, right? But they're actually just exposing how idiotic they actually are. Because if you believe for 1 second that you are in a normal country, in the sense that that everything's functioning, right? You have the best education system. You have the best healthcare system. You have the best policing. You have the best justice system. You have all those things in this country, in South Africa, then you're only fooling yourself. And I find it very ironic that she is making this video poking fun at everything. But look at those walls. And electric fencing. You're making fun of a country not being safe, but you have protected yourself.
Can you give me protection from yourself?
Also, another point is these white South Africans that are making fun of this situation live in like the most lavish areas in South Africa. They don't know what the real South Africa is like.
That's one of thousands of videos from white South Africans mocking their own privilege. So why has Trump offered them asylum? Well, the South African government passed a law to allow it to seize land, like farms, without compensation, but only in exceptional circumstances, like if it's abandoned. About 72% of private land in South Africa is owned by whites.
Liar!
No, it's not. No, it's not. This is where I lost all faith with Al Jazeera. No, it is not. This is the biggest lie that the South African government has been drilling down everyone's throats, and I really wished Al Jazeera had done a little bit of research into that statement. I recently did a bit of a deep dive into who really owns the land in South Africa. I'm going to link it in the description below. Please go check it out. But ladies and gentlemen, this statistic that she is citing and repeating is really misleading, because that statistic refers to farmland, not all the land. That is a very, very big difference. And the ANC government owns more land than any other racial group. Like I said, I go into more detail in the video that I mentioned. Please go check it out. But this is a huge lie. It's shameful. It just proves that journalism is dead, because a simple research, a simple look at other statistics would have shown you that this statistic is a complete lie.
So Donald Trump has accused the South African government of using racism and violence to steal land from white people. He's also suspended all humanitarian aid to the country.
They do use violence. Again, had you done a bit of research, you so-called journalist, you would have seen that farm attacks and farm murders are horrible in the sense that people are tortured in the most horrific way. And now before the, oh, why don't you talk about township crimes brigade come after me? Yes, people are also dying in townships and in the most horrible ways. And I do talk about that on this channel. Check out my video on Sipakazi Boy, for example. But there's something very nefarious with the farm attacks and farm murders, because in some instances you cannot believe the extent of horrific abuse and torture that some of these victims go through. In some cases, it will make you sick to your stomach. It's amazing how this journalist didn't even go into the issues and problems with the ANC, why the ANC has failed, why the ANC hasn't been able to reform the land, why the ANC hasn't been able to get the country into prosperity and giving people jobs and increasing the middle class. None of that. Ignores all of that. It's all white people's fault. It's their own problem. Blah, 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 blah. This is typical left-leaning journalism that only wants you to see one side of the story and not the other, or not even one side of the story. You're only allowed to see this side of the story, and you have to view it from this point of view. You can't, there's no other way to view this. Like, why do you care about the Afrikaner? They're racist. Why do we even care? I mean, other white people in South Africa also don't understand why we should care about the Afrikaner. It's disgusting. It really is. It really is. And I mean, I know some of you in the comments are gonna be like, "Oh, Joe, you should have known better than to trust LGG or whatever." You're right. You're right. Again, I hadn't watched them in quite a while, so I didn't know that they made this left-leaning turn. But clearly they did. And yeah, journalism is dead, man. And listen, I'm not a journalist, okay? I'm just a comedian who has a YouTube channel who likes to talk and commentate on the news. That's all I'm doing, all right? And yet somehow I'm able, without studying journalism or anything like that, I'm able to do a bit of research and find out the truth sometimes quite easily. And it just baffles me how journalists just don't do that anymore. Mainstream media, legacy media, corporate media, whatever you want to call them, is clearly dying. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, ladies and gentlemen. While you're there, leave a like on this video, share it far and wide, and subscribe to the channel. Got more content coming your way. And please consider becoming a member. It goes a long way to supporting the channel and helping me produce content on this channel. I want to produce more content for you guys. So please, your support goes a long way. So consider becoming a member or give a super thanks, or SASA Thanks as we call them on this channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. And with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Your newsflash is in.
I have 6 pieces of evidence to prove that we really all married the same man. We did. Number 1, he sneezes like this. Achoo! Number 2, for whatever reason, he cannot hear his phone unless the sound coming out is equal to the decibel of a jet plane. That thing is on max volume at all times until I give him the look, and then he turns it down. Number 3, if he ever goes missing, I absolutely will know where to find him. That's right. Right here. Number 4, he will ask me questions such as, "Babe, have you seen my gray hat?" To which I will respond, "It's literally right there." Do our eyes work the same as theirs, or they must not? Number 5, if my bum is exposed for any reason, he suddenly lacks impulse control. He cannot contain his reflex to just lay a hand. He's gonna smack it. If the bum is exposed and he walks by, it's not safe. It's getting a smack. And last but certainly not least, number 6, I had a headache the other day, to which he responded, and say it with me here, "I got something that'll fix that for you." So, let me know if you want part 2.